Humanitarian aid into Gaza has been blocked by Israel for nearly 3 months now. They control all exits in and out of Gaza. Israel came up with a humanitarian aid plan backed by the United States called the GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which currently only involves 4 humanitarian aid stations throughout the region. For reference, prior to aid being cut off by Israel, humanitarian foundations were operating about 400 aid distribution centers throughout Gaza to feed 2 million people. The UN says that the current amount of aid being let into Gaza will only feed less than 10% of the population. There's also no aid distribution centers in the northern region of Gaza, and they are all concentrated in the south. 3 of those centers are set up in areas where Israel has told people to evacuate, likely because they are going to carry out military strikes in those areas. The aid distribution centers themselves are sort of set up like you would set something up for herding cattle. There's only one way in and one way out of the centers, and in order to get aid, you have to provide ID, which includes providing a biometric facial recognition scan. The centers are under tight security with armed guard posts, and people walk for miles and hours to get to these centers. Yesterday, while people were waiting in line, they got restless because they realized that there wasn't actually enough aid there for everybody in line to be able to get something. And so the barricades were pushed over and people rushed the distribution center, and Israel forces started firing shots at the crowd and actually killed 3 people. One of the reasons that they believe the distribution centers are set up in the south is to try and essentially coax residents from the north to come to the south, and then they won't be able to return to the north because Israel will block it off. Also, the aid that they are providing to the people in the region is mostly rice, flour, and pasta. And in order to cook that stuff, you need water, which is very scarce in Gaza right now. And even if you have water, you then need electricity to boil that water. Israel has cut off all electricity to the region. Gas and diesel to operate generators or start fires is also not allowed into the region, which makes it very difficult to even cook the food that people are given. Right now, nearly half the population in Gaza faces emergency-level malnutrition and starvation, but 20% of the population faces catastrophic levels of starvation and malnutrition, meaning that they are already actively dying or they could die in the coming days if immediate action is not taken.
Mothers, so malnourished, they birth generations of already starved babies. Their tiny, deformed bodies by famine weapons, their organs pre-aged by trauma. And now we are witnessing starvation weaponized with surgical precision, walking 15 kilometers through danger zones. This is what it looks like. To queue for a single food parcel, only to be detained or bombed at the so-called distribution points. This is a sick theater where Israeli forces starve Palestinians to perform their dehumanization for the world cameras to see, while deliberately blocking UN-regulated systems that could actually deliver food and feed people.